Test, test. Test, test. Test, test. What's that? You got it? Test, 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 test. You got me? Okay. Okay. We'll just do what we can do. Yeah. Check, check. Check. Oh, really? All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wrangell Gymnasium. Your host tonight, myself, Ramey Privet, be announcing for you. Starting off tonight for Craig, we got 00 Vickers. Number 2, Allen Trimmer. Got number 10, Canaster. Number 12 is Goheen. And number 32, Bennett. That's going to be your starting 5 for Craig tonight. Starting off tonight for Wrangell, we've got Ben Hauser, number 4. Number 22, William Masson. Number 23, Powers. Number 33, Everett Meisner. And last but not least, Michael the Cookie Monster Cook. So we'll do the national anthem and then we'll get rocking and rolling here. All right, folks, it'll take me a minute to get my bearings, but as soon as I do, then we'll be off to the races. Looks like number 12, Goheen's going to jump for Craig against number 23, Powers of Wrangell. On the court ref tonight, we've got Chief Meek, Dustin Johnson, and Mr. Brooks. And here we go. Wrangell's going to come away with it. It's going to be Cook with the ball. He's going to drive into the paint. Oh, stop short. Gets back out to Masson over to Meisner. Meisner's going to try to drive in. Goes up for jumper. No good on that. That's going to be Bennett with the rebound from Craig. He's going to bring it over the half-court line. Looking over, gets it over to Trimmer. That's going to be number 2. That's over to Goheen. It's going to be out of bounds off of Wrangell. Still heading Craig's way. Got to get used to number 2 and 3 because they are twins. So, number 12, that's going to be Goheen. Inbounds it over to Vickers. Vickers dribbles around, looking for somebody to get open, gets it over to Bennett. Bennett up at the top of the threes, looking for somebody to get open, gets it over to Canaster. Canaster's going to take a long three. Bounces around, no good. Wrangell's going to come away with that. It's going to be Masson with the ball and the rebound. Gets it over to Cook all the way down to Meisner. Meisner's going to drive into the paint, go up for 2, and that's good. So Goheen gets it into Bennett. Bennett's going to drive into the paint. Stops a little short. Nope, does a little turnaround. Goes up. Good 2. It's going to be a foul. He's going to call offensive. So I don't know what happened there. Yeah, they took the point away, the 2 points away. See what happened? I don't know what happened there. Wrangell's going to inbound it, though. So the score's 2-zip. It's going to be Cook with the ball. Gets it over to Masson. Masson looking around, trying to get it somebody back over to Cook. Cook thinks about it, throws a long 3 up. No good on that one. It's going to be Craig with the rebound on this one. Stolen away by Hauser, though. Gets it back over to Cook. Cook's going to try to drive the baseline, goes up, no good. Bennett's going to get the rebound on that one. Bennett drives all the way down. It's going to go up on the left-hand side, no good on that one, off the front of the rim. Masson with the ball. Gets it over half court, gets it over to Powers. Powers now looking around. He's going to try to drive in. Nope, gets it over to Meisner. Meisner will drive the baseline, go up, and good for 2. 4-zip. Wrangell with the lead. 6:08 to go in the first. Bennett with the ball now. Drives around, gets over Canaster. Looks around back over to Goheen. Goheen stops his dribble back over to Bennett. Bennett's going to try to drive in, goes up for 2. Goes around, no good. Wrangell rebound. It's going to be Powers with the rebound. Gets it all the way down to Meisner. Meisner's going to take a long 3. Ugh, nothing but net. Wow. Here we go. 7-zip. Wrangell with the lead. 5:36 to go. Goheen with the ball now. Gets back over to Canaster. Canaster going to bring it back around. Nope. Keeps his dribble. Back over to Bennett. Bennett looking to try to get open. Starts his dribble. Tries to drive into the paint. They're going to call foul. It's going to be on Wrangell. That's going to be on Cook. It's going to be his first. Goheen with the ball. Looking to try to get it in to Vickers. Vickers gets it, bounces around, bobbled it, and Trimmer's going to come away with it. He's going to drive the baseline, goes up, no good on that one. That's Canaster with the rebound on it, gets another rebound. Looks around, gets it over to Trimmer. Trimmer's going to throw one up. Ooh, and nothing but net. Good for 3. So that's going to put Craig on the board. 7-3, 5:06 to go. Wrangell lead. Cook with the ball. Gets it over to Hauser. Hauser's going to try to drive in. Goes up. Trying to draw a foul. No good on that. Rangel keeps it. Cook goes up for another two. Bounces around, no good on that one. And Trimmer's going to come away with the rebound on this one. Gets it over to Bennett. Bennett's going to drive the floor. Looking around, and that's going to be a foul on Hauser. Going to be Bennett. Nope. Goheen going to inbound it. Gets it into Canaster. Canaster goes up for two. Off the backboard and good. So here comes Craig. Rangel had a 7-point lead. Now they're up by two. 7-5, 4:40 to go. Powers over there, over to Meisner, now over to Hauser. Gets it into Powers. Powers has to throw back out to Cook. Cook's going to go back out to Meisner. Meisner going to try to drive in. All the way over. Stolen, swatted away. Who's it going to be? It's Meisner with it now. Or Masson, sorry. He goes and throws up a jumper for two. Bennett with the ball. Craig gets over the half-court line. Gets it over to Trimmer. Trimmer looking around, gets back over to Bennett. Bennett goes up for two. No good. Powers with the rebound on that one. Powers gets over the half-court line. Looking around, gets it over to Cook. Cook's going to throw up three. Bounce around, no good. Trimmer with the rebound on that one. And that's going to be a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it right here. Support for Rangel Wolves basketball on KSK comes from 56 North, Alaska Waters, giving guided tours around Rangel since 1994. More at alaskawaters.com. Support for Rangel Wolves basketball on KSK comes from Rangel IGA, your local grocery store. Rangel IGA, hometown proud. So it's 3:53 in the first period. 9 Rangel, 5 Craig. I'm just waiting for the team to get back on the floor here. There was the warning buzzer, and there's the actual buzzer. It's going to be Craig's ball. Rangel still hasn't got. There we go. Looks like we actually have some Craig folks in the stands tonight. They might be here for the little wrestling tournament tomorrow. They're supposed to have 150 kids. Bennett with the ball. Gets it over to Goheen. Back over to Bennett. Now Bennett's going to drive in, go up for two, and that's good. 9-7. Rangel lead, 3:45 to go. Cook with the ball. Gets it over to Hauser, all the way over to Powers. Now over to Meisner. Back into Hauser. Goes up for two. Too hard off the glass. Goheen with the rebound. Goheen's going. Keeps the ball. Gets it. Nope. And it's going to be stolen away by Powers. Powers all on. Goes up for two, and that's good. Bennett with the ball now. Looks for a long three. Bounces no good, and it's going to be Meisner with the ball. Rebound on that one. Gets it over to Powers. Powers is going to go up for another three. No, didn't hit anything on that one. Goheen gets it over to Bennett. Bennett's going to try to drive into the paint. Does. Goes up. He's going to draw a foul. Looked like Ref Johnson saying that one's on the floor. We got Stearns coming in for Hauser, Rangel. 11-7, 2:58 in the first. Rangel with the lead. Goheen trying to get it in, gets it into Bennett way up top. Bennett's going to try to drive into the paint, and they're going to call a foul on Rangel. Meisner doesn't like that call. But might not be on him. Goheen with the ball. Gets it over Canaster. Canaster's going to drive up top. Looks around, gets it over to Bennett again. Back over to Trimmer. Now over to Goheen. Goheen's going to drive into the paint. They're going to say it was off of Craig's leg. It's going to be Rangel's ball. Cook gets over the half-court line. Back over to Powers. Back out to Cook on top. Powers gets it now. Swings it over to Meisner, all the way over to Stearns, gets it over to Powers. Powers is going to try to drive in, but Vickers is there, and that's going to make it difficult. Meisner gets the ball, goes back up for two, does the old toilet bowl flush, and in for two. 13-7, Canaster. There's a long pass down to him. bobbled it a little bit, went out of bounds. Cook going to bring it over the half-court line. Looks around, gets it over to Meisner. Meisner back over to Powers. Powers going to try to drive in, and stolen away by Vickers. Taken by Trimmer. Now over to Bennett. Bennett gets it over half-court line, gets it over Canaster. Canaster's going to throw up a long three, but it's blocked by Rangel. It's going to be blocked by Stearns. Gets it over to Meisner, now over to Powers. Powers is going to drive in the paint, goes up. They're going to draw a foul on that one. Going to put him at the line. Looks like it was going to be on Canaster. Powers shooting two. First one's up. Hard off the back of the rim, no good. .149 in the first period, 13-7. Rangel with the lead. Powers' next one's up. Off the back of the rim. That one does finally make its way in, though. Goheen with the ball, trying to get it in. Gets it into Canaster. Canaster's going to get over half-court line. Keeps dribbling. Is he going to stop? Nope. He's going to try to drive baseline. Gets it into, that's number 20, McCoy. Bobbled around. Now back over to Powers. Gets it over. Back over to Meisner now. Masson. Masson looking for somebody to stop his dribble. Now it's going to be stolen by Bennett. Bennett's going to drive all the way on the left-hand side. Goes up for two, and that's good. Cook with the ball. Gets it over to Powers. Inside to Stearns. Stearns is going to go up for two, and that's good. 16-9 is the score. Goheen with the ball, and he stopped just out over the other side. Going to be timeout on Craig. And Craig's going to take a full timeout, so I'm going to send it back to the stations for 60 seconds. So 54.7 seconds left in the first period. 16-9 is the score. Rangel with the lead. It's going to be Goheen inbound in it. Looking around, trying to get it to Bennett. Gets it over to Canaster. Canaster's got the ball. They're going to call a foul on Rangel. That should, yep, that's going to put him at the line. 5 team fouls for Rangel. Looks like Craig only has one. First one's up for Canaster. Nothing but net on that one. 16-10, 51.6. Canaster's next one's up. Bounces hard off the back of the rim. No good. And it's going to be Rangel's ball with the rebound. That's going to be Meisner going after it. Gets it over to Powers now. Powers is going to get it over to Stearns. Now back to Powers. Powers is going to drive into the paint. And goes up for two. Now we've got McCoy in there. Gets it over to Bennett. Bennett's going to drive in. Does. Goes in. They're going to call a foul. It's going to put Bennett at the line. It's going to be on Cook. That'd be his second, maybe even third. Looks like he's going to probably have a seat. Howell, Wrangle's going to come in. Bennett's first one's up. Bounces hard off the back of the rim. No good on that one. And I was right. Cook's going to have a seat. Carter Howell coming in the game. Bennett's second one. Nothing but net on that. 18-11. Powers brings it over half court now. 21 seconds. Coach Engelman's saying one play. 17 seconds now. Gets it over to Howell. Howell dribbles around, gets it over to Stearns. Stearns looking around, back over to Powers. 6 seconds, gets it into Meisner. Meisner goes up for two, and that's good. So at the end of the first period, it's going to be Wrangle 20, Craig 11. We'll be back in 60 seconds, folks. So back for the second period. It's going to be Bennett inbounding for Craig. Gets it over to Canaster. Canaster keeps the ball, keeps it dribbling, gets past Vickers. Now he's in the corner. Gets it over to Bennett now. Bennett's going to try it. Nope. Keeps his dribble. Way up top. Gets it over to Vickers. Vickers turns, going to shoot. Nope, gets it over to Goheen. Goheen's going to dribble back out and around. Craig burning some clock here. All the way stolen by Wrangle. That's going to be Meisner. Over to Masson, who goes up for two. Too hard. Meisner gets his own rebound, goes up. No go on that, but Howell comes away with it. Meisner's going to throw a long three up. Probably not a great choice. But McCoy's going to come away with the rebound on that one. He's picked up by Howell of Wrangle. McCoy gets it over half court now. It's screened by Bennett. McCoy goes in for two. No good on that one, though. Masson's going to come away with the rebound. Now over to Powers. All the way down to Howell. Howell back out to Powers. Powers going to try to drive into the paint. Gets it into Stearns. Goes in. Gets his own rebound. No good on the first attempt. Gets it back out to Howell. Howell's going to pop up, pull up two, and that's good. 22-11, 6:40 to go. Wrangle lead. Second period. Bennett with the ball. Going to try to dribble around, drives through everybody, gets it over to Goheen. He's going to pull up. Blocked by Powers, gets his own rebound though, and they're going to call a foul on Meisner. So the team fouls have reset. Looks like we got a couple Wrangle kids coming in. We got Whitaker, Wig coming in. Means Masson and Meisner are going to have a seat. Goheen trying to get the ball in, gets it in Canaster. Canaster throws up three, no good on that. McCoy gets the rebound, and he's going to be fouled. McCoy shooting two. First one's up. Nothing but net. Second one's up. Nothing but net on that one as well. Going to be Rangel with the ball. Gets it over to Wigg. Wigg's going to try to drive in. Goes up for two. They're going to draw a foul on that one. So the score 22-13. 6:08 on the clock. Second period. Rangel lead. It's going to put Wigg at the line. I didn't see who they called the foul on. Wigg's first one's up. Bounces off the rim. No good. Second one's up. Bounces around. No good on that. That's going to be Goheen with the rebound. Gets it over to Bennett now. Bennett's going to get it over the half-court line. Gets a screen from Vickers. Going to try to drive into the red. Does, and it's swatted away by Rangel. Goes out of bounds. So it's going to be Craig's ball under their basket. Goheen looking to get it to somebody. Looking for Bennett. Gets it to Vickers, though. And is trying to pass it all the way up to Canaster. Goes just off his fingertips, out of bounds. Rangel powers over to Stearns now. Stearns dribbling around, looking for somebody. Gets it over to Whitaker. Uh-oh. Powers looks like he took a tumble there, and he's limping around a little bit. Wigg with the ball. He's going to bounce around. It's going to be Craig's ball off of Rangel. Looks like we got Hauser coming in. Looks like Powers is going to have a seat. Canaster with the ball. He's trying to get it in. As he throws it, bounced inside the court. So it's going to be Rangel's ball in the same exact spot. 5:33, 22-13. Second period, Rangel lead. Hauser now trying to get it to somebody. Gets it into Stearns. Over to Whitaker. Now over to Wigg. Wigg to Howell in the corner. Back out to Wigg. Back over to Stearns. Stearns back to Wigg. Inside to Whitaker. The old give and go. Wigg goes up. Good for two. 24-13. Goheen with the ball. Waiting for Craig to show back up. Here they come. Gets it over to Vickers. Vickers is going to throw a long three up off the glass. No good. It's going to be battered around as Canaster gets it. Now over to McCoy. McCoy back over to Goheen in the corner. He's going to try to drive in. Does. It's going to be blocked by Whitaker. Hauser from Rangel with the ball all the way down to Wigg. Wigg's going to throw up a long three. Nothing but net on that one. 27-13, 4:46 to go. Vickers with the ball. Now over to McCoy. McCoy back over to Bennett. Over and back. Over and back on Craig. Craig coach saying, I think you were looking at the wrong line there, Mr. Referee. But that referee's our chief of police, so I don't think you're going to argue with him. So, Hauser with the ball. Looking around, and Canaster's there, but Hauser gets around and goes in for two and goes up low off the board and in. 29-13, 4:18 to go. The second period, Bennett with the ball. He's going to try to come around, gets a screen, gets it over to Canaster. Canaster looking around, all by himself, throws up a three. Why not? No go on that, though. Goheen tries to save it, and Hauser's there, gets the ball. Canaster's going to meet him there. Back over to Stearns. Stearns going to go up for two, and blocked by Vickers. Stearns going to inbound it now. Looking around, trying to get it. Somebody trying to thread the needle. Blocked by Craig, but Rangel comes away with it. Back over to Howell now. Back over to Stearns. Stearns got a lane. Nope, blocked off again. They're going to call a foul. Going to be on the ground. That's going to be on Vickers. So Alex Trimmer coming into the game for Craig. McCoy's going to have a seat. Bounce pass into Rangel, into Whitaker, up to Wig now. Back over to Whitaker. Whitaker's going to throw up three. Nothing but net on that one. 32-13 is the score. 3:28 to go. Trimmer with the ball. That's Alex. Dribbles around, blocked by Wig. And he bobbled it all over the place now. Gets it back to Wig. Wig going to get it up and good for three. He's on a heater, folks. Goheen gets it in Vickers. Vickers bounces it over to back to Goheen all the way on the other side of the court. Looking around, gets it over to Vickers again. Vickers going to try to drive in. Nope, gets it back to Goheen. Goheen keeps the ball. Now back over to Alex. Alex going to dribble back out. Stops his dribble, gets it over to Bennett. Now Bennett's got a little bit of a lane, goes up for two. No good, gets his own rebound, goes back up. Nope. Keeps the ball though. Tries to pass it out. Goheen gets it though. Gets it over to Alex Trimmer. Trimmer's going to try to go in. Batted away by Rangel though. Howell with the ball all the way down to Hauser. Hauser's going to throw up three from the corner. I don't think Rangel's hit this many threes all year long. 38-13, 2:09 to go in the second period. Goheen with the ball. Picked up by Hauser. Trimmer now. He's going to get it. Gets a screen by Canaster. Back out to Bennett. Bennett looking around. Trying to find somebody. Keeps his dribble going. Try to drive into the paint. Goes in. Out to Canaster. Canaster at the three, and they're going to call a travel. We got Wiggs going to have a seat. Got Cook coming back in the game. Masson coming back in the game. Whitaker going to have a seat. Cook with the ball. Over to Hauser. All the way over to Stearns. Back over to Howell. Gets it back over to Hauser. Hauser's going to try to go up for two. Bounced around. No good. Bennett with the rebound. Over to Alex. Back over to Bennett now. Bennett's going to try to drive in. Does. Goes all the way down into the paint. Goes up. And I heard the slap from up here. So there's a foul. Whether it's on the shot or on the floor. Looks like to me on the shot. He's going to put Bennett at the line shooting two. First one's up. First one's good. 38-14. Got Meisner for Rangel coming back in the game. Second one's up. No good on that one. Rangel comes away with the rebound. Meisner with the ball. He's going to try to drive to the baseline. Goes up for two. Swatted by Goheen. Gets it out to Cook, though. He throws up a long three. No go on that. And they're going to say Rangel's ball. Minute left. 38-14. Rangel lead. Stearns now looking around, tries to get it into somebody. He finally gets it over to Howell. Hasn't started dribbling yet, but he just throws up a three. Why not? No go on that one. Vickers with it, but battled by Masson, so he gets it. And they're going to call a foul on Goheen. Coach Ingerman called a timeout, but he waved that off because of the foul. Nope, I take that back. He's going to take the timeout. It's going to be a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it right here. Where was I? Wrangell Wolves basketball on KSK is brought to you by First Bank, supporting Southeast Alaskans through charitable outreach and community development grants. First Bank, the ones who's here. Support for Wrangell Wolves or Wrangell basketball on KSK from Petro Marine. Petro Marine would like to wish all the student athletes a safe and successful basketball season. Go Wolves and go Panthers. Because there's definitely a Petro out there. So there's the buzzer. 47.4 seconds left. 38-14. Wrangell lead. Gonna be Stearns inbound in it. Trying to get somebody open. A long pass to Howell. Howell's gonna try to drive in. Nope, gets it out to Meisner. Now Meisner will pop up for two. Bounce no good. Bennett with the rebound. 40 seconds left to go. Gets it over to Trimmer. Trimmer, he's gonna try to get by Howell. Loses it, gets it back though. Gets it to Bennett. Bennett picked up by, no. Bennett was picked up by Masson. Masson said, oh, it was off of them. But there was a ref right there. So it's still going to be Craig's ball. Goheen's going to inbound it. 22.2 seconds left. Goheen with the ball, trying to get it into somebody, looking to get somebody open, bounces it into Trimmer. Alex, he's going to bounce around, gets it back over to Goheen, over to Bennett. 16 seconds now. Bennett tries to dribble around into the paint. Blocked by a bunch of white jerseys. Now Vickers with the ball. Come on, fella, go on for it. Goes up for two, no good. Masson's going to come away with it. 3 seconds now. Clock's burning, gets it over to Cook. Time runs out. No good on that shot. So at halftime, Wrangell with the lead, 38-14. We'll be back in 8 minutes. Well, there's the buzzer, folks. Starting the third period. It's going to be Wrangell's ball. It's going to be Powers inbounding it. Powers with the ball now, trying to get it in, gets it into Cook. Cook will come back around, go to the other side of the court, gets over the half-court line, gets it over to Meisner. Meisner going to try to drive into the paint, pulls up a jumper, in and out, no good, and that's going to be Trimmer with the rebound. That's going to be number 2, that's Alan Trimmer. Bennett with the ball, tries to dribble in. He's under the hoop, surrounded, gets it out to Goheen, over to Vickers. Vickers throws one up, in and out, no good. Rangel with the rebound on that one. Going to be Cook now, going to drive into the paint. Stop short, gets it over to Meisner. Meisner going to try to go up, stripped away though. Wow, it's going to be a jump ball. And it's going to go Craig's way. Looks like Rangel going to do a little full court, man-to-man. No, yes. Maybe a little zone. Gets it into Bennett. Bennett now all by himself. Looks around now. Here comes the rest of the team. He's going to try to drive into the paint. Does. Goes up for 2. No good on that. Gets his own rebound. Goes back up again, and that's good for 2. 38-16. 7:06 to go in the third. Rangel lead. Meisner now. He's going to try to drive into the paint. Stop short of the baseline. Now looking around. Gets it into Powers. Powers up for 2, and that's good. Was all by himself underneath the hoop. 40-16. Bennett gets it over to Trimmers. Allen. Trimmer going to drive down the baseline, surrounded by white jerseys. No dice on that one. Powers with the ball, bounces it into Meisner. Meisner's going to go up for 2, bounces no good. Masson with the rebound, though, goes back up for 2. Canaster gets it over to Bennett. Bennett's going to try to dribble around, comes back up top, keeps his dribble going, goes into the paint, goes up for 2, and that one's good. Bennett can drive in there, and he's great at handling that ball. Meisner with the ball goes up for 2, and that's good. Maybe a timeout. Not sure what was happened there. It's Craig's ball, though. Craig into Bennett. Or Vickers into Bennett. Bennett now comes back around. Looking, gets it over to Trimmer. Allen's got the ball back over to Bennett. Bennett's going to turn around. They're going to call foul on Rangel. And that's going to be on Cook. So if Cook's not careful, he'll be out of this game before the fourth quarter. Goheen gets it into Bennett, goes up for 2, and that one's good. Craig's play is to get it to Bennett so he can shoot the layup and the two-pointer and keep doing it because it's working. Rangel gets it. Now it's bounced around. And they're going to go. Rangel tried to convince referee Brooks that he's going the other, or staying that way, but no. So it's going to be Goheen inbounding for Craig. Trying to get somebody open. The long pass, fumbled around. Hold it back to Rangel now. Stern goes up for 2, and that's good. Goheen with the ball, gets it over half court, looking around, trying to find somebody to get open. Rangel's all over him. He bounced around, and they're going to say out of bounds. Rangel off of Cooper Powers. So here we go. Goheen gets it out to Oh, Canaster keeps the ball. He's going to try to drive into the baseline. Does. He's got a free up and over. No good on that one. Meisner out to Stearns. Stearns looking around. Back over to Meisner again. Throws up a three. No good on that one. Hauser trying to get it, but it's going to go Craig's way on that one. Nobody touched it after Wrangle shot. 4:50 to go in the third. 46-20. Goheen with the ball, looking for somebody to get open. Gets it over to Canaster. Canaster's almost travels, gets it back over to Bennett now. Bennett. Stearns all over him. He's going to try to drive around, comes back out, does not stop his dribble, and they're going to call a foul on Stearns. Goheen going to inbound. Gets it to Vickers. Vickers back to Bennett up top. Bennett starts his dribble. Gets a screen. But both Wrangle guys switch over. Stolen away by Stearns. Stearns going to try to get it over and back out. Saves it from Hauser to Meisner. Back to Hauser into Stearns. Bounces it in. Tries to go up. And they're going to call a foul. Going to be shooting two. That's going to be on Vickers. Hauser's first shot's up. Rolls around and goes out. Got Howell Wrangle coming into the game. Meisner's going to have a seat. 4:09 to go in the third. 46-20, Wrangle lead. Second shot's up. Off the rim, no good on that one. They're going to say it's Craig's ball. Coach Engelman didn't like that call. Goheen long pass to Vickers. Hits him in the feet, though. Masson gets the ball back over to Howell. Howell's going to try to drive the baseline. Goes up. No good on that one. Masson comes away with it. Over to Stearns, over to Howell. Howell looking around, back over to Stearns now. Stearns into Masson. Masson's going to turn the corner. Nope, gets it back out to Hauser. Hauser over to Powers. Back over to Howell. Comes back. Nope, Howell's going to keep it. Going to try to drive into the paint. Back over to Masson. Masson over to Stearns. Stearns is going to pull up a jumper at the free throw line, and that's good. 48-20. Canaster's got the ball. He's going to try to drive down into the paint. Blocked by Powers and double teamed by Howell. It's going to stay White's ball. Nope. Yeah, Wrangle's ball. You say it went off of Craig. Stearns inbounds it to Powers. Powers gets over the half-court line. Back over to Stearns. Into Howell. Howell's going to go up for two. No good on that. Canaster gets it, but he's going to be tripped up. That's going to be on Hauser. All the kids are trying to hit the wet spots. Somebody went down on the floor. Ah, they got a towel out there. So 3:07, third period. 48-20. Referee Johnson mopping up that sweat. Goheen with the ball, looking for somebody to get open, gets it over to Canaster. Canaster's going to get over the half-court line. Looking for somebody to get open. They're going to stay in Craig's way. Out of bounds off of Wrangell. We've got Whitaker and Wig in the game. Goheen slapped the ball, but not much movement. Bennett with it now. He's going to try to spin around, go up for two, and Wig's going to come away with the rebound on that one. He picks up speed to go in. They're going to call a foul. It's going to put him at the line for the and one. It's going to be on Vickers. Oh, Wig there, he saw a little lane he liked, and he picked up speed and went for it. Here we go. Up, bounces around. Whitaker comes away with it. And they're going to call a foul on Vickers. .245, Wrangell ball. Wig with the ball. He's going to try to drive the baseline. I don't know how to call that. That's going to be Whitaker with the ball, though. All the way over to Howell, over to Wig. Wig's going to throw up a long three. I mean a long one and nothing but net on that one. Wow, 53-20. Canaster with the ball. He's going to get over the half-court line. Goes down to Goheen. Goheen looking around. Trying to feed it to Bennett. Nope, now out to Trimmer. It's going to be Allen Trimmer into Vickers into the paint. Back out to Trimmer. Trimmer going to drive in now. Goes up for two and no good on that one. And he's going to be right there to try to get it. Canaster, and now they're going to call a foul right on Stearns, guaranteed. And looks like we're going back for the towel. Looks like a little moisture on the floor. Support for Wrangell Wolves basketball on KSTK is brought to you by the Wolf Shack, offering fast food favorites for lunch Monday through Saturday. Find the menu online at thewolfshack.com. We've got a sub coming in. We got McCoy coming in for Vickers. Masson coming in the game. Stearns going to have a seat. Goheen with the ball, gets it into Bennett. Bennett over to McCoy. McCoy's going to drive in, stripped away by Wrangell though. Let's see who it's going to be off of. They're going to say off of Craig. So Whitaker is going to inbound to Powers. Minute 49 to go in the third. Powers slowly gets over the half-court line. He's going to drive into the paint, goes up for two, bounces around, no good. And they're going to say Craig ball. Goheen with the ball, looking to get it in, gets it into Bennett, gets it over to McCoy. McCoy's just got one person in front of him, goes up for two, and that's good. 53-22, minute 29 to go in the third. Back over to Whitaker. Whitaker's going to get it over the half-court line all the way down to Powers in the corner. Comes around, tries to go out, back to Whitaker, over to Wig. Wig throws up another long three. That's good. Trimmer with the ball now. It's going to be Allen. Over to McCoy. McCoy gets over the half-court line. Minute 02 to go. Back over to Trimmer. Trimmer's going to drive in. Stops. Gets it over to Goheen. Goheen goes up for two, and that's good. 56-24. 50 seconds to go in the third. Powers gets over half-court. He's going to try to drive by. I'm going to call that one offensive. Nope. So that was going to be on Canaster. You've got number 45, Wrangell coming in. going to be Garrett. Wig now with the ball. He's going to drive into the paint. Goes up for two, and that's good. Wig having the game of his life tonight. Canaster gets it over to Allen. Allen gets it back over to McCoy. McCoy thinking about it. Nope, back over to Goheen, all the way back out to Allen. Back over to Canaster. Canaster throws up a long three, bounces around, no good. Goheen with the rebound, though. And they're going to call a foul. Not going to be on Mr. Wig. .6 seconds left. That was going to be shooting two. Wrangell in the 5 team fouls. Goheen's first one's up. Right in there. 58-25, Wrangell. Second one on its way. Bounces around, no good. And it's going to go out of bounds. It's going to stay Craig's way. Craig with a chance to at least get another two. 14.9 seconds. Bennett with a long three, throws it up, bounces around, no good. Goheen gets it, comes back out to the three line. Back out to Canaster, back over to Trimmer. Trimmer throws one up. Boom, no good on that one. It's going to be Wrangell's ball. Garrett comes away with the rebound. He looks over at Howell, gets it over to Whitaker, throws up a long three. No good on that. So at the end of the third, it's 58-25. Wrangell with the lead. We'll take a 60-second timeout, send it back to the stations. It's going to be Wrangell ball starting off in the fourth. Masson will inbound it. Gets it over to Howell. Howell gets it over the half court line, back over to Wig. Wig over to Garrett. Garrett's going to try to, or Wig's going to try to go in. Throws it up, no good on that one. Canaster gets it though, and he gets it down around the three-point line. Bounced off a foot or something, because that took a weird turn. You're going to have Bennett drive in for two. And if you give him any sort of a lane, he's going in, and it's going in. 58-27, 7:30 to go. Howell with the ball, stopped his dribble. And we're going to take a full timeout by Wrangell. So I'll send it back to the station for a full 60 seconds. Wrangle's ball. Right at the half-court line. Masson's going to inbound it. Gets it into Wig. Wig now going to drive into the paint. Goes up for two. No good on that one. Going to call a jump ball because there was people everywhere. It'll be Craig's ball. A little more moisture on the floor again. Looks like these boys are staying hydrated. Oh, yeah. So here we go. Goheen with the ball, gets it over to McCoy. McCoy gets over half court. He's going to dribble down. He's got some wheels back over to Goheen. He goes up, and it's blocked by Whitaker. Back over to Knaster, over to Bennett. Bennett's going to start his dribble. Now back over to Goheen. Goheen throws up a three. And it's a rebound by McCoy. McCoy going to try to dribble around. Blocked by over to Goheen. Goheen goes up. And Craig comes away with the rebound yet again. Bennett throws up a long three. In and out on that one. It's going to be Masson with the rebound. Gets it over to Wig. Wig all the way down. Gets it over to Whitaker. Whitaker's going to throw up three. In and out, no good on that. Garrett with the rebound, though, goes up. No good. Masson goes in for a rebound and puts it up for two. McCoy with the ball. He's all by himself. Everybody's taking their time getting back down. McCoy over to Knaster. Knaster back over to McCoy. Back out to Bennett now. Bennett's going to drive the paint. Goes in for two. No good on that. Battered around. Knaster gets it. And they're going to call a foul on Wrangell. .45 White. That's going to be on Garrett. First team foul for Wrangell. Knaster's first one's up. Nothing but net. Second one on its way. Nothing but net again. So that's going to be 60-29. Wrangell lead. Battered away. Gets it over to McCoy just over the top of his head. So it's going to be Wrangell's ball. Craig doing full court now. Wig's going to inbound it. Refs are trying to get set. Here we go. Masson back over to Wig. Wig's going to run into a trap. Gets it over to Howell. Almost out of bounds, but Craig's going to wrap it up. It's going to be jump ball. It's going to stay Wrangell's way. Coach Ingerman's going to take a 30-second timeout. So, 5:51 to go in the fourth, 60-29. The keeper here. Support for public radio in Wrangell, Alaska. When you purchase Alaska, oh, that one's done. Skip. Support for Wrangell Wolves basketball on KSCK from Alaska. IBEW Local 1547. Representing Alaskan electrician workers since 1946. IBEW wishes all the players a safe and successful basketball season. Go Wolves. So, Wrangell ball right in front of their bench. Howell gets it into Whitaker, over to Wig, all the way down to Howell again. It's going to be off of Trimmer. It's going to be off of Allen Trimmer. Masson gets it in, or tries to. Howell, and it's going to be battered around, and Bennett's going to come away with it. He's on the move. Goes in, and it's going to go back Wrangle's way. Went through some legs, through some fingers. We've got Hunt coming in the game for Wrangell. Masson's going to have a seat. Wig gets it into Howell. Now over to Wig. Off of Canaster right at half court. It's going to be Wrangell's ball. Somebody needs to get there. Howell will do it. There it'll be. Slaps the ball, gets it into Wig. Wig throws up another long three. No good on that one. Hunt's going to come away with it. Gets it over to Howell. Trimmer's all over him. Comes out of it though. Howell throws up two. No good on that one. Garrett gets the rebound, goes up again, and they're going to draw a foul on that one. Garrett's all smiles. Going to put him at the free throw line. 5:14 to go. He's going to be shooting two. First one's up. Another net on that. He's 61-29. Put him in the books, folks. Second one's up. No good on that one. Lane violation White. So it's going to be Craig's ball. Goheen gets it into Bennett now. Bennett all the way down to Trimmer, and he just can't get to it. Saves it, but it ends up in Wrangell's hands. It's going to be Howell. Howell's going to throw up a three that does not have a chance. Goheen comes away with it. And Garrett there kind of wrapped him up. So that's going to be a foul on Garrett. Wrangell had 2 team fouls. Craig has 1. Goheen with the ball. Tries to get it into Bennett. He's going to be batted away though. Wrangell comes away with it. Howell with the ball now. Looking over to Whitaker. Whitaker throws up a 3. Bounces no good. Bennett with the rebound. Bennett's going to drive up. Gets over half court. Gets a screen. Doesn't use it. Drives into the paint. Goes in for 2. And that's good. 61-31. 4:36 to go. Wrangell still with the lead. Howell with the ball. They're going to call a foul. It's going to be on 20. That's going to be on McCoy. Howell gets it into Wig. Wig's going to try to drive the baseline. Does, goes up, and barely goes in, but does go in. 63-31. Wrangell lead. McCoy with the ball now, but he kind of lollygag around. He throws up a 3 right at the top. Hunt comes away with it, with the rebound. And they're going to call a foul. It's going to be on Canaster. It's going to be Wrangell's ball. Hunt gets it into Howell. Howell's going to dribble past some guys. Canaster's right there with him, though. Gets it over to Wig. Wig going to drop over to Whitaker. Whitaker pulls up a jumper, and that's good for 2. 65-31. 3:57 to go. Bennett with the ball. All the way down to McCoy. McCoy pulls up a jumper off the rim, and that's going to be Howell with the rebound over to Wig. Wig dribbles back out. Back over to Howell. Now over to Hunt. Hunt keeps the dribble. Almost batted away by Trimmer. They're going to call 3 in the key. We got the Hauser brothers coming in. Ben and Pete. Goheen gets it into Bennett. Over to Goheen now. Goheen at the 3, gets it over to McCoy. McCoy over to Allen. All the way down to McCoy. McCoy goes up for 2, and that's good. 65-33, all the way down, stolen by Goheen. Back over to Bennett now. 3:10 to go. Wrangle with the lead. Allen Trimmer with the ball back over to Goheen, now over to Bennett. Bennett's going to try to drive into the paint, goes up for 2, swatted away by Garrett. And we got Pete Hauser, tried to steal it, get it down the court. McCoy steals it from him, goes up for 2, bounces around, no good. And that's going to be Craig's ball. We got Alex Trimmer coming in. Whew, you think announcing's hard. You throw 2 brothers in that, this is great. This will be good. So we got Ben Hauser over to Whitaker. Whitaker down to Pete Hauser. Goes off the top with fingertips, goes out of bounds. 2:43 to go. 65-33. Wrangle lead. 4th quarter. Bennett into Alex. Alex gets over the half-court line. Looking for somebody to get open. Now gets it to Bennett. Bennett's going to throw up a long 3. Looks in line, and it was 65-33. Clock still running. Hauser now with the ball. Back over to Whitaker. Craig still doing full court, trying to make the trap. Gets it down to Garrett. Below, goes up hard off the glass, bounces around. Hunt comes away with it. Looking for somebody. Gets it out to Ben Hauser. Double dribble. Ben didn't like that. So we got Alex inbounding to Bennett, back over to Alex. Alex going to throw up 3. No good on that one. Gets his own rebound, tries to. Canaster, gets the rebound back over to Bennett. Now back up to Trimmer, and that's going to be a foul. Should put him at the foul line shooting 3. Yep. 65-36. Wrangle with the lead. Minute 48 to go. Alex, the 3 chances here. First one's up. Bounces and goes in. 65-37. 2 more. Second one's up. Bounces, no good on that one. One more. Alex goes up. And off the backboard and in for 1. 65-38. Hauser going to call a foul. It's going to be on Allen Trimmer. New Wrangle's ball. Hunt with the ball now. Stops his dribble. Tries to get it into Garrett. Garrett gets it. Tries to go up for 2. No good on that one. McCoy comes away with it. Gets it over to Bennett. Bennett over the half-court line. Throws, nope. Gets it over to Alex. Into Canaster. Up for 2. No good. It's going to be Whitaker with the rebound. He's going to keep the ball. Minute 20 to go. Over to Hauser. Over to Pete. Pete's going to throw up a long 3. No good on that one. And Wrangle's going to come away with the rebound. Gets it back over, and they got a foul. Who's that going to be on? It's going to be on Wrangle. A little bit of a push. Craig's ball. Coach Engelman says no more fouls. Alex gets it into Bennett. Over to Allen. Allen's going to try to drive the baseline, goes in, gets it over to McCoy. McCoy back out to Bennett. Bennett thinking about it, now back over to Allen. Allen throws up a three, bounces around, no good. Garrett with the rebound, tries to bounce it into Whitaker. 46 seconds left. They're going to call a foul. .5 seconds left. That's 5 team fouls, so that should put somebody at the line. That's going to put Whitaker at the line, shooting 2. 43.5, 65 Rangel, 38 Craig. Whitaker's first one's up and good. 66-38 Rangel. One more to go. That one's good as well. 67-38. Canaster gets it into Alex. Alex now gets over half court. Looking around, 38 seconds. Dribbling. Gets it now to Bennett. Rangel's bench yelling no foul. Over to Allen. Allen back out to Alex. Alex going to back out to Allen. Going to drive into the paint. Nope, back out to Canaster. Canaster's going to throw up 3. Bounces, no good. 19 seconds left. McCoy gets the rebound. Now back out to Alex. And that was good for 3. 67-41. 12 seconds left. All the way down to Pete. Pete throws one up. Off the rim. No good. Back over to Pete. He throws another one. Blocked by McCoy. And they throw it up. Trying to get old Pistol Pete in the books. So at the end of the game, 67 Rangel, 41 Craig Panthers. Thank you for listening, folks. Tomorrow night, Jill, my littlest sister, will be the announcer. Same time, same place tomorrow, 5:30. We'll see you there. Be there or be square.